Hey bookworms, we are going to do our mini museum kit today. So I have already pulled out my background and my Illustrator information and cut those out. And then I've got my shadow box here with my little robin. You can see I'm slightly obsessed with the robin, the squirter. I don't know what it is. I love it. It's so cute. And then I've got my thing there. And then I've got my gold pen because I like to make mine all look sort of like steampunk is the idea I had with all the hexagons. There we go. Sort of pulls them all together. So there's mine. This will be so pretty added. Let me set this to the side. I've got my heat gun heating up next to me here while I paint my little robin. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm going to use a flat brush. I've got my acrylic that's still, I think, going to make it from my last two acrylic projects I did. And then I forgot to grab a paper towel. Let me do that really quick. And make sure I'm in the video nicely. Okay. And I want to paint my brownish color. I think this is the last time I'll use this paint. So I'm going to give him a good coat of like this taupey brown all over. And I'm mixing my silver in there to create like a grayish, and I like the sheen it gives me. And this guy's been primed, so it should take the paint pretty nice. Alright, let's see. I don't like to touch them because then I'm going to get paint. Smudge my paint I just did. Let's see if I can do it. Alright, that's good enough there. Let me grab my heat gun. Knocking stuff over. Alright, so that's good enough for his base coat. Alright, now I want to, I don't have my paint out, hold on. Oh, I still got white in there. Here, hold on. I want to try making like a taupey color without so much of the gray, I think. Let me see if I can. That's pretty good. Okay. Alright, so under his, that's sort of tan. That's not what I want. Okay. I need, let me try the silver again. And some of the brown. And maybe some of the white. Let's see. I don't know, that looks sort of peachy. It's definitely not. Let me add more silver in there. We'll go with that for just now. It's not exactly, I wanted it a little more gray. Might have to grab the black. It's not terrible though. I don't know, I do sort of like that actually. Alright, so I'm going to do the underneath of him all this light color. And up his chest. And I'm sort of dry brushing it because I want it sort of like buffed into that brown, at least around the edges anyway. And make it a little thicker at the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to rinse my brush off. Now I've got some on his wing here, which I don't want. So I think I'm going to have to add some of this brown back there. That's good. Yeah, I want his wings and the top part of them to be a little darker. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to brush my brush off so there's not much paint on here, and I'm going to buff the edges of where the two colors come together to give it a little more of a blend. Okay. Let me pull that up. Hopefully you guys can see that. I still think I need to actually mix a gray though. It's just not doing it for me. So I'm grabbing a black, and I still have a little bit of white on there. Touch black. I need that for the eyes anyway, I guess. So, all right. I want. And I need more white too. There we go. That's a better gray. All right. Let's see if I can dry brush some of this gray into there. There, I like that better. And it's sort of like over the taupe, which makes it more layered looking. I do like that better. Okay. Got it on my wing again. All right, there we go. Let's see if you guys can see. Oh, I guess I pulled that up earlier and didn't put it in the screen, sorry. So you can see the different colors in there. That focus, okay. Sorry guys, I was looking at my camera the wrong way. Okay. And then I need white. I do not have enough white on here. I thought I had enough paint, but no. I did actually finally use a lot of it, so that's good. All right. Now we need to put more white on his chest. Right in this area especially. I'm going to try to dry brush it in. So I took some of it off my brush. I'm using the tips of it. You can see I'm like fluttering it back and forth. There's definitely a little more technique to this one than some of the others we've done. If you want it to be, of course, if this is too much, make it look like a little statue and paint them all like bronze or something. It definitely would still be pretty. Let me see if I can pull it up so you can see. I don't know if you guys can, hopefully it's focusing enough. You can see that it's sort of like a gradient color, and I'm going back and forth. So it's sort of buffing right into that gray. Hopefully that doesn't look like the picking up the color difference for me, but hopefully it is. Okay. Oops, sorry guys. Hitting my camera. Okay, I do like that. All right, now I'm gonna grab my thinner brush, my round, because I need a little more control. Let's do it this way. All right, and I want like the texture, so I'm like pouncing and pulling. Hopefully this will work on something this tiny. I think it is. And then my brush is almost dry, so I'm going to just like pounce it so it blends. So see how I'm like pushing my bristles? That works better actually. All right. Pick up a little more. All right, and then we'll go up the face, because up around the eyes, they have the orange, and up around the beak. Not like our robins. Hopefully you guys can see this still. Am I still in the video? Okay. Sort of consumed by this one. I love this little robin. Okay. That is blending pretty cool. Pick up a tiny bit of white. I'm going to blend. So I got a tiny bit of white on this brush and I'm just blending right along the edges. On the belly. That's so cool. I love it. Okay. Very cute. Now let me look at him because I was holding him on his tail. It's not too bad. Let's see if I can get... I'm going to take this flat brush again. I'm going to hit the tail and sort of pull it inward so it's deeper and darker down there. And then I'm going to do the same thing, hopefully with the wings, just the tip of the wings. I'm going to pull it forward. I like that. This is looking super cute. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna hit a little more of the orange up around the beak at the top here. And around the underneath the eye just a little. There we go. Okay. Super cute. And then I'm gonna take my pencil, dip it in my black, and dip it on his eye. So hopefully this works. I'll lay him down so I can do it. Pencil always works so good. That's so cute. Cute little bird. I made a bunch of these for my kids. They thought they were so cute. I had all different painted ones. Now, I made a little mess on... Got too much black on there. Let me see if I can get it off. I don't know if I'll be able to or not without making a mess. Oh, don't want to touch his eye. I think I got it. Oh, man, the tiny miniatures. I don't have the paintbrushes. I need to get some smaller paintbrushes. I need miniature paintbrushes for these. They're not supposed to be super hard though. They're just supposed to be like little tokens of remembering your book you read. Okay, that's pretty good. Let me see if I can get him to focus. Look how cute. Not too bad. There's a little line there. Not bad though. And he's so cute. Okay, we're gonna set him down. He should dry by the time I'm done putting my my box together. And then so I'm just gonna get some hot glue in there. Make sure it goes the right way. Drop that down in. You know what? I forgot to cut my pages, my book pages, because I love the book pages on the inside. I think that's such a cool, I've got like all those old books that are falling apart that I got from like a thrift store. So you can see it's got like letters and words and books. Goes along with the theme. Alright, so there's that. So I'm going to have to put that in here in a minute. But you guys know, I just cut the strip, what is it, like a 1.5 or 1 1/8 or something, whatever that size is. Can't ever remember because I always have to measure it every time. And then, so there's that on there. You can see I printed mine on Mess Ups cardstock. Okay. And then right at the bottom there, sorry, I'm out of the video. Just stick that right there for our Illustrator information. And then our little bird right there. How cute. I love this one. I love this bird, if you guys can't tell. All right. So there is our mini museum with, I haven't finished it, of course, but you guys have seen my other videos. And I love that you guys all have your own style that you do with this. So there it is. I'm so happy with this. Look how pretty this like collection is. That's so fun. I hang mine on my wall next to my art stuff, but it would be super cute on a bookshelf too, of course, with all your pretty books and all your Weekly Whimsy books all together. Got such a good collection going on. All right, you guys, I'm excited to see your little birds, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.